1st at 7:01 p.m. Number 2, let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That sounded great.
You're a little get an echo.
Item number 3, approval of the agenda for September 1st, 2020.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry. I got distracted.
We got distracted with the dog. So number 3, approval of the agenda for September 1st, 2020.
I'll make a go ahead.
Nancy.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second that.
All right. Motion made by Commissioner Berube, seconded by Commissioner Bogdan. All do I have to do all in favor? I don't know. I forget.
Yeah.
All in favor.
Aye.
Sorry. Number 4, approval of minutes from August 11th, 2020.
I'll motion to approve the minutes from August 11th, 2020.
I'll second the motion.
Approval of minutes made by Commissioner Bogdan, seconded by, I didn't see who it was.
Take your pick. I said it. I think somebody else did too.
Sure, Commissioner Sutherland.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 5, Fraser Parks and Recreation and Senior Center gratitudes.
Yes, so I'd like to thank Amanda Rollins, who has been hosting some events at McKinley Park, doing little, get-togethers for some of the kids. I think it's great. I talked with her a little bit about making sure, social distance, using hand sanitizer, all that stuff, masks. But I think it just shows that during this time, the community comes together and finds a way to still connect. And I just wanted to thank her for that. Again, I want to thank Kurt, my van driver. He's just amazing. And I'm just so blessed that he's, able to do this service for the seniors. And all first responders, they're still going through a lot. So thank you, Sarah, for your service. And all of our police and fire, EMS, nurses, groceries, it's just, everybody. So thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, item number 6, report on parks, 6A park improvement project update.
Yes, so this is the exciting part. At our last meeting, there was some questions about the pathways, and I have those answers. The pathways will be put in where they're being removed, so it's going to follow the same route. And just maybe around some of the playscapes, it might have to go, a few feet each way, but it'll still be. Especially the concern was around Pompo at the back. It will still be going behind there. It'll still have the 2 entrances to both of those streets. So that will be starting soon. We got confirmation that the equipment for Somerset, they'll be doing Somerset first. That will be arriving September 8th, barring any kind of delivery delays. And then the next day they start putting it in. So we are ahead of schedule, well, tentatively ahead of schedule. You never know what could happen, but supposedly September 9th is when they're going to start putting in the equipment for Somerset. And then after they're done with that park, Pompo will be to follow. So very exciting.
Christine, I do have a question.
Yeah.
On Pompo, are they going to address the problem way there in the back behind the tennis courts? Because that washes out in.
Are you talking about like
the pathway?
Like the grading, is that what you mean?
Yeah.
I'm sure they would. They're not going to be installing any extra drains or anything like that, but I can check with Nick to make sure they're going to add a little bit more substrate to maybe bring it up a little bit.
It
But
looks
they're
like
ripping it out and putting a new one in, so I doubt that they would put anything in that they know would fail.
Okay.
But I can check. I'm gonna make a note of that and talk with Nick tomorrow.
Any more questions? Okay. Okay, 6B, future park improvements discussion.
Yes, so at our last meeting, we kind of got the ball rolling about how we feel that it would be important for us to get our ideas together, our recommendation, and then present that to council. So that is what this part of the meeting is for. And I'd like to hear what your guys' thoughts are, your discussion.
We're just discussing which parks we want to go next with.
Yeah, what parks you want, what kind of amenities, you know, do you want to focus on the natural play? Do you want to get quotes for both?
Commissioner Lacasse.
I'd like to see if we're talking maybe next in line. I'm hoping, me personally, that Boris would be next because it's very visible
Yes.
with people driving by, and I think the natural look would be a shoo-in for that section of the city. So I think it would look really attractive from the road. The only problem is parking. You can't really get to it unless you live in that neighborhood, but it's still an eye-popping design so that people would be like, oh, how do I get there? You know, and pull in and park and walk to it. So that's just my idea or my thought. I really think it would look good there.
I agree. I was going to say that, especially since they don't really have any playscape there.
It's sad
anymore.
right now. Yeah.
That's the one that I used to take my boys to. We would just walk over there between Pompo and Boris, but there's nothing really at Boris right now. So I think that should for sure be next on the list.
I think so too, especially with the eye-catching aspect of it and the fact that we all love that natural play so much. I think that it would absolutely just look great right there. And we already know kind of the pricing of what it's going to be, so it would likely, hopefully, be an easy sell. So,
right.
I have a question too. There's land near it that's been for sale, and I believe it's for residential. It's got to be.
Mm-hmm.
But is that something that, well, I don't want to say, you know, can the city buy that, because you don't want to waste the money on that, but it would be good parking. I'm just trying to think of a way to have access to it.
Right.
Here for people, and to not upset the neighborhood that it's in front of, because you don't want people parking in front of people's homes all the time going to that park.
I can find out, well, if it's for sale, I mean, if it's for sale and it's available. But what I don't know, and the question that I would have to pose to the city is, if we do put a parking lot up there, is that going to be up to code? Because it'd be so small, and I don't know, you know, exiting out onto 14.
I hate saying, you know, oh, let's buy that, because that's a terrible idea. It's just, I mean, that's a huge cost that we can't afford. But I just keep thinking, where could parking go? So that, because it's right there. It's like so many people pass it every day. And if you have such a cool equipment playground on there, you want people to be able to get to it somehow.
Okay, yeah, we can, I can ask, you know, how we could get parking. I feel like it's something that's been asked before, but I don't remember what the answer was. So, yeah, I can look into that. And if I recall, our last one of the designs that we had for Boris also featured the really cool adult, what would you call that?
Exercise.
Like an obstacle course type of thing.
Yeah, workout stations.
Yeah. That was really cool.
Which I like that too, since, you know, you get a lot of, you know, walkers and joggers and bikers in the area. I mean, not that they have sidewalks that go all around, but it'd be cool to have that out on 14 Mile.
That would be a nice addition to Stephens. A walkway around Stephens where there would be exercise equipment. I've seen that.
Stephens would be ideal, yeah.
Yeah, because everybody uses that one, I feel like.
It's in the middle of the city.
And I do have a problem with Boris because that would mean there's 2 parks that you put money into in one subdivision. Because Pompo is actually the park for that subdivision.
And to piggyback off what Ms. Berube said, absolutely correct, because in talking with Nick today, the interim DPW director, we were actually hoping to steer more towards Harrington. That park is surrounded by newer homes, so we're bringing in younger families, and it doesn't have any original play structure. It's all play structures that have been taken from other parks.
Is Meadows that way as well?
Meadows was not that way. Meadows was built for Meadows. Harrington had all the zombie parts from other parks.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Which other parks have like playscapes? Because I know like Blanky Park doesn't have a playscape.
Right.
We obviously want to go with a park that has a playscape to upgrade.
Right. So McKinley and Fort Fraser, Stephens and Pompo, those ones, you know, we can probably say those ones are good for now. Then we have Boris, Harrington, and Meadows.
Well, Harrington
those
would be
the other
probably
three.
a good one.
Yeah, because that's right up, like almost across the street, kind of.
Right. I'm looking at pictures on Google Earth of it so that I can.
I would think efforts would be better in Harrington and Meadows.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I don't have a problem with that. I think, yeah.
Where is the parking for Harrington?
That's another one that's a community park too.
Okay.
But there's street parking in front of it.
Yeah.
So there isn't it on the street around the L.
But there's trails there too, so then that would obviously be something more desirable, or that might be a good one to do if there's trails
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
based on Google Earth.
I just know that entrance, I see that entrance, that's on 14 Mile too, so it's like
Right.
across the street from Boris.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do the Google Earth thing too while we're doing this.
I wonder if I can, and if I can share my screen.
See, I've got my iPad over top of my PC because I don't have a webcam. So I'm doing this low tech.
You're still here, so it doesn't matter low tech, high tech, you're still here.
That's okay. I couldn't get in on my Chromebook.
When I pull up Boris, all it brings up is pictures of the cemetery across the street.
Okay. Now let's see. How do I share my screen?
Christine, you can by the arrow on the bottom, big green arrow up on the very bottom of your screen.
I think this is what I want to share.
Yeah, it says participants, share screen, record reactions.
Share. So can you see this?
Hold on. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Okay. So Harrington. Oh, this is the playground. So back this way is Hayes. This way is 14 Mile. And you can park along the street. Let's see if I can do street view. So you can see.
You can park on Nicola, Fabrizio.
There we go.
Okay.
So here's the playground at Harrington.
Get out of here.
And you've got a lot of nice houses.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
so that is that one. Do you want me to go around? Do you want me to go to Boris?
If you go back to the right of the, to the north, more towards the street, the other street,
This
go in
way?
that direction. Right there would be a nice place for a pavilion.
I don't know if we actually own that property. I think that's part of the developer.
Yeah, they're
The section that we own is pretty much all the chopped pieces that the developer doesn't want. So let's see. Can I do this? No, that's not what I wanted.
Oh,
I was gonna kind of outline. Okay, now I'm getting all lost. But it doesn't go the whole. Not all that open land is land that we own.
okay.
But even on the other side of the play equipment, there might be there's probably space for a pavilion still.
Oh, at the trail there.
And then there's the entrance.
That's right.
Is it here?
Oh, no, I think
It's further.
No. Oh, it's right there.
Yeah,
oh, so
right
that's the
there.
street
Yeah, yeah,
part. Okay. Okay.
There's another entrance a little like past those trees, isn't there, where there's actually like a sign?
Yeah.
Is it here?
Yeah, next to the big
Oh,
house.
I see it. It's all the way down here.
Go away.
Yeah, it's like right by the mansion,
Yeah.
isn't it?
There it is. The Harrington.
And the mansion's
There.
right on the right hand side.
So there's the other.
Have we gone there before?
Yes, that's on 14.
Does
And
anyone,
then literally across the street,
Why haven't we said that?
I think it's down this way.
Yeah, it's
You got Boris.
does anyone know if that sidewalk on 14 Mile is in the plans to be finished?
Along this side?
Along the north side of 14 Mile.
I don't know of any plans for that to be finished.
One side of the path is connected. Between the two paths that run out to 14 Mile, there's no sidewalk. And one of the easterlymost path that runs out to 14 miles just runs out to dirt.
Yeah.
I mean, if we were talking about doing 2 parks a year, why not do each one of these?
That's definitely something we can propose. 100%.
And then, because I know when I went to the park that was in, the one with the natural scape that we went and looked at. What city is that in? Like, I can't think of it right now.
Huntington Woods.
Yes.
Woods, yeah.
It had like a giant stand box that went with the natural playscape that was really cool. So I think that there might be some other things, like if we were to go with the natural on each side in Boris and in Harrington, that there would be additional options also. So they wouldn't be identical, but we could go with the natural for both. We just have to see what else they have. But I mean, they had some stuff in there.
Meadows Park, is that the one off French Creek Drive area?
Yeah,
Okay.
I got the screen
I
share
don't
thing
know. I don't
down.
know. I just remember going down French Creek, so that's all I know.
On Sugar Maple and Rambling Drive.
Yeah.
Okay, I screwed up here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
I can't get a picture back.
Where is it? Is this?
So
is
that
this
one where the
it?
person is?
Or is it here? Oh, no, it's here.
That would be another candidate for paths and equipment too, because there isn't a lot there and it's a very small park.
Come on. Keep going.
There's a trail that goes through to
There we go.
Fairview, I believe, but it's not paved.
No, that's not what I
Sure.
wanted. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm struggling with this.
You're doing a great job.
Doing great, yeah.
Way better
Okay.
than I could do, so.
So this is Meadows. The playscape isn't, I mean, it's not fantastic.
Oh, this is the one that's off of Mulvey?
No,
No, that's Blanky.
Yeah, Blinky's off. They have the same style sign though.
We
Ah.
planted trees there, Cheryl.
Yeah.
That's all
We
I
did
remember.
very well.
At least somebody tried to steal my shovel over there.
So yeah, this is Meadow. There's like a pond next to it. It's a little park. It's not too bad. It's,
I wonder if that's
like I said, it's not the
pond.
best, but it's not the worst.
I wonder if there's like equipment that's kind of a water theme, not to have water because that would cost more money, but just have a water theme style, like maybe blues or something like that.
Yeah.
And it seems like that park would be so much better because it's in a cute area. There's lots of families.
Mm-hmm.
It's a decent size too for that little area. It's big.
I mean, which ones are in the worst shape? Those should go first.
Harrington Trail, I would say.
Harrington's bad because that's all a hodgepodge of things.
Right.
And Boris has had half of it removed already for it being busted up.
Yeah. Okay.
Goodbye. Goodbye. I mean, if we had just one.
Fancy?
She said that did we lose her completely? Oh, maybe.
Oh, okay. I see her. So are we thinking about recommending 2 parks or 1 park or 3, or what do you guys want to recommend?
I think 2 personally. We're doing 2 now, 2 after, and then 2 after that because there's still Blanky Park, which other than the walking path, there's really not much that needs to be done there.
It'd be nice if they could throw some gravel out front to park on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I asked Nick about that before. I think he said that it wouldn't be up to code.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't want the city doing something they wouldn't want, residential or contractors doing. So that makes sense.
I have one more question about Harrington. The entrance on 14 where the sign is, there's like a half driveway there. Would it be possible to actually create a drive to go back there with a small parking lot so that you could get to it off of 14? Doesn't have to be huge, but that way, because every time you drive past, you're like, oh, there's a park. How do I get to it? So
yeah,
to Boris, but I mean, if that one has got a half drive already.
It does, and it would be nice to just put a couple parking spots there. And then they could walk back to the park.
Right. Commissioner Bogdan?
I think we need to define these parks because we're talking about parking, and I would love to have parking at Blanky Park, but these were all designed to be neighborhood parks, not to be used by outside people coming to. I think, when I look at these parks like Boris Park and Harrington and Meadows, Blanky Park, these are all just neighborhood parks that neighborhood people would, I guess you can't see my hands going, would walk to promote community. So do we want to start opening these parks to the entire city or people from outside the city? Or because that brings in a whole new set of problems.
Right. Commissioner Ruby, you have your mute on your mic on mute.
Sorry, I had to come back. Yeah, the parks were originally when the subdivisions were put up. That was a criteria that the builder had to do. And it was meant so that you didn't have to cross a major street.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think there's no problem with having a park that doesn't have designated parking because we do want to keep it special for the neighborhoods. But I mean, I can see like Blanky, that one is specific. It's different than any other park that we have. So that would be one that I think was designed as a neighborhood park, but it is the only open, like natural passive park that we have. So that one, maybe someday down the road, I'd like to see parking there, just a few spaces. But yeah, I don't know if Harrington needs it or if Forest needs it, but I can find out. And if, the commission wants to, we can do the legwork and talk to the residents and see if that's something that they'd be opposed to or if they'd be for it and go that route.
Sarah?
Commissioner Paletti? Oh, yeah.
In my opinion, I think as far as parking goes, Blanky needs it because it is a specific park that doesn't have a playscape. It's for the older generations, people to walk, and it's not easily. There's just no place to park in the neighborhood. You can't. There's nowhere to park.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas the other parks, you can park in the subdivisions. This one, there's nothing around it. I mean, there's condos and a church. So.
Right. Commissioner Stein, did you want to say something?
No, I'm good.
Oh, okay.
You said what I was going to say. Thank you.
Okay. So, all right, that was a lot of discussion, actually.
So where did we land then?
I don't know, I guess, so 2, is that what we wanted to recommend?
I think
Yeah, but which 2? Harrington and which one?
sounds like Boris or Blanky. Is that what I'm?
If I could just kind of interject, I think that Harrington needs to be done. That one's pretty bad, and I think it might be a smaller piece of the pie for council if we said we want to do
One.
Harrington, which needs it, and add a few things to Blanky, like parking and maybe some more parking or some benches and maybe some really nice landscaping. That might be kind of cool.
Yeah.
To have like a little garden area with seating.
Right. I feel like council for sure would be more willing if you're like, oh, this is the park we want. If we have just one,
Right.
they'd be like, yeah, sure, let's go do it. If you have 2, they'd be hemming and hawing about it for 2 months.
Yeah.
But I actually,
6 months. So.
I actually think Meadows should come before Boris, though, or before Blanky, because you've got
Yeah.
a lot of homes over there. You've got children,
Yeah, makes sense.
and there's not a lot over there at Meadows.
But if Nick works it right, parking money could come out of DPW. But I agree, Meadows and Harrington both need to be done.
So do we want to just say Harrington to start off with for sure?
Yeah.
Is there going
And
to
I
be
agree. Yes.
left at Boris Park at all? I don't know what's there right now. I haven't really looked.
There's
Not a lot.
swings. That's about it, and some benches.
Yeah, they took that whole structure out. It was bad.
Over at Meadows, is there just one structure, I think?
Here, I'm gonna.
Where over at Harrington, there's a merry-go-round, there's swings.
Yeah, the merry-go-round is broken. That needs to be pulled. That's not even operational.
Well, they do have a swing set over at Meadows. It's a wood thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just the one play structure, but it's a pretty large play structure. It's bigger than anything we had at Somerset or Pompo. Like I said, it's not great. I'm not saying it's great. It needs to be done. I guess I'm just going to refer to the commission what you guys think that the priority should be, since you're here as members of the community, so it's good to hear what you guys think.
Commissioner Paletti?
I mean, my choice is to go with Harrington, first of all, and if they want to do 2 parks, I think Boris is in worse shape.
Right. But I agree with Nancy and Renee about doing Harrington first, because we are doing Pompo, so it does make sense to kind of share the wealth to another subdivision.
Right.
But yes, Boris is in worse shape, but Harrington should come first.
Yeah. Boris is in worse shape than Meadows. Harrington is in the worst.
Yeah, Harrington's first.
But Boris is also in the same subdivision as
Right.
Pompo is, where Meadows, they don't have anything else other than Meadows.
Right.
But it's got a perfectly functional playscape there, and Boris really doesn't. So, and Boris is right on 14
Yeah, but
miles, so it's visible.
when you actually look at the if it's 2 years out that you're going to be doing it, you have to also consider that in the equipment.
I say we just go for Harrington right now. Commissioner Bogdan.
Isn't Boris 3 blocks from Pompo?
Yes.
Okay. Just throwing it out there.
I like the
Well,
idea.
I mean, if they could gut the whole park and just put a little jogging track in there for all I care, but it needs something. Not that I'll ever use it, but still.
Commissioner
I like the
Sutherland.
idea of going with Harrington and then doing some updating at Blanky though, with some landscaping and some benches, and
I do too.
I think we could probably get that through too. I think we can get that approved because it doesn't really sound like we're asking for that much, and we might actually be able to get, since there's more space at Harrington, might be able to get some more of those additional things that I was talking about too, like the really cool sand pit or a pavilion or something else over there to make that even bigger than it is right now.
Right.
I'm telling you
Aren't
that
there benches over
I'm
it?
not a sandbox person, but that sandbox was amazing. The one in Huntington Woods, it was really cool.
It was.
Yeah.
Well, we could always propose to council that we think that Harrington Trails needs to be done, and if you decide to do more, here's the projects that we have in mind, and let them make the decision. Saying we have Meadows, which needs to be updated, Borsa needs to be updated, and some improvements at Blinky, and then see what they want to do.
I agree with that.
That's true. We could do that too. Because at the end of the day, we can make all the suggestions we want. They're just gonna, they have final say, so they're gonna
Right.
do what they decide.
True.
I don't know. I feel like that's how we ended up with the colorful playscapes at Somerset and Pompo. And we all like the natural. I really think if we feel strongly that it should be this park and this is why, I mean, if that's what we all think, let them tell us no, and then we can go back to it. But if we really think that this is what it should be and why, then why let them just...
We could get them to quote Harrington saying this is what we want to do. This is our #1 priority. And then we have some other projects that we'd like considered as well.
Right.
Get the natural park quoted out and give them a proposal for that. And then I don't know if he can do quotes for the other parks and what it would cost to put a little bit of parking in and some improvements at Blanky, and then give proposals for those too. But our #1 proposal would be for Harrington.
Commissioner Bogdan.
I don't want to argue about it, but I disagree with that because we already found out that if you give them an option, they're probably going to do the opposite of what we want them to. So it might be better not to. I agree with Dana that I don't think we should give them an option at all. This is what we want, and this is our vision. Like to work on our neighborhood parks. We've done 2. We'd like to do either this one or these 2, but we should make it more firm instead of giving them an option. Instead of letting them say yes or no, or just letting them say yes or no, instead of having them choose, because no matter what you do, if you give a person a choice and they don't choose what you want them to, you can't say anything about it.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
that means
by
we're gonna
ordinance,
have to
you
come
are
to
recommending. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say that we
I
would.
was gonna... I'm so sorry.
Like a real meeting.
Go ahead, Christina.
I was just gonna say, by ordinance, you are a recommending board. So anything I ever present to council, it's the Recreation Commission recommends this. So, I mean, by default, we can't bend council's arm. They always have the final say, but that doesn't mean that you have to be passive in how you present it.
That's true too.
Well, my point of view is that I read quite a bit about parks and strong towns and walkability, and I've read about different grants and things that are available, and I feel like it's all being wasted. So if we give them firm, this is what we want and this is why, and they do something else, then I can close this computer and say, I'm done, instead of just coming here and talking about it, and trying to make it a better community. If they have a better vision or a different vision other than, you know, what we want to do or what I want to do, I'll go do something else. You know, and that's not an ultimatum. It's just, if you don't like your job, you get a new one. It's, you don't like where you are, you move. Things like that. If you aren't happy, find a way to make yourself happy.
Commissioner Paletti, when he's done.
Well, I was just going to say, then we're going to have to come to agreement of what of the other projects we want done. And I suggested giving them the decision because I don't think that we're going to be able to come to a decision as to which of the priorities of the other three projects were. So that's just my thought. I mean, if we can come up with a cohesive plan as to Harrington and one other project, great, give it to them and say, this is our plan. But we all have different ideas.
I think the only thing we're in agreement on right now is that Harrington should be first.
Yep. And like all these playground companies, they're all still building right now. So even if I wanted to have them come out to design something and give us a quote, they're not going to be doing that until they're done, you know, doing their builds for the rest of the season. So if the commission wanted, you know, we can stew this for a month, maybe talk to some of our neighbors and see, you know, what they think. I mean, that's always an option. I'm not saying that's what we have to do. I can go forward with Harrington and try to get Michigan Rec to get with us to get a design together. I don't know if they'll be able to until they're done with their busy construction season. But that's just an option.
Could always put
Lincoln,
something
not
out
right
there
now.
on the survey. Could be on the Survey Monkey that you have for Parks and Rec. Maybe do one for park improvements and see what.
That's what I was.
At.
Yep, I was going to make a suggestion whether you put it on the Facebook page or the Survey Monkey, something, or just to kind of get ideas.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It kind of, I don't know, maybe I missed something, but it kind of sounded to me like we were in agreement. It sounded like Harrington first. And if I'm repeating it back wrong, totally tell me I'm wrong. So it sounded like Harrington first, then Boris and Meadows, and try to squeak some improvements in at Blanky in there.
Yeah, but that's 3 projects. And if we're talking,
It's 4. It would
being the first
this year. It would be Harrington this year with some cosmetic improvements to Blanky, and then next would be and Meadows, right? Or did I get that
like
wrong?
that idea.
Commissioner Berby.
I think you should just go with Harrington and get that taken care of. Then move on to another one. Do one at a time, because I don't think it's going to pass if you put Harrington and Meadows and Boris in there and Blanky.
I kind of liked Harrington, our number 1, and then add some cosmetic improvements to Blanky. I think that's pretty simple. And then for the next, we do both Meadows and Boris. I think that breaks it up nicely, because Blanky's not going to need a lot of work.
Are we still missing a park?
Yes.
Rendell. There's
Okay.
nothing
I was going to say, isn't there another one?
There's a baseball diamond that's it.
Okay.
And a walking path.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Steffens, of course, but.
So what's next, Christina? Do we?
Yeah, because when I present to council, I'll include the motion and how it went, like who seconded it and whatnot. So if there is like a specific direction, and then I can present that to council. What I would probably do is present it to them as a heads up and let them know that we are pursuing design and bids and all that for it. And then just letting them know that it would come back to commission to say, yeah, we agree, this looks good, this is what we want, what we recommend. Then it would go back to council and they would say, you know, whatever they're gonna say. So that's kind of how I envision the timeline going.
Okay. So do we need to make a motion now?
Yep.
I'll make a motion that we make a proposal for improvements at Harrington Trails, park improvements, and with some cosmetic work for Blanky Park.
I'll second that.
Motion made by Commissioner Paletti, seconded by Lacasse. Commissioner Bogdan?
Could we add reasoning to that proposal? Because Harrington,
Sure, I can add whatever.
besides it needing the help, that subdivision there isn't complete. This would also help complete that subdivision. It would be a reason for young families to buy there and have homes built there. And that would increase revenue for the city of Fraser.
A good point.
We include that, and it would be finishing park before we move on to the next neighborhood park. So it's not, let's just throw money over there. There's good reason to finish that park. And I love the idea of going after that and maybe doing some cosmetics to Blanky. I really like that.
Commissioner Broby?
What kind of cosmetics were you going to do over it at Blanky? Because they already have benches out there.
The walking path needs to be fixed. Possibly add a couple parking spots. Maybe some landscaping.
Get away with the parking spots from what Nick said before.
No, he didn't want to do it to use another word, half-assed. He didn't want to just throw out some gravel and call it a parking lot.
Yeah.
I think he wanted to do something more substantial.
But I think if you do a parking lot, you're going to have to take so much land into the park in order to get it away from the street.
Well, if I investigate and if I talk to Nick and code enforcement and they say, no, there's no way that we can put parking here, we're not gonna try to sneak it in.
Right.
It sounds good.
But also at Fort Fraser, the parking lot is immediately on the street there. So they may do with that section. So I feel like it could be done on the grass by Blanky.
Commissioner Bogdan?
Fort Fraser is part of a larger park. It's an open park for community and neighboring communities, where Blanky Park is a neighborhood community. It's a neighborhood park. It's not
right
for outsiders to come in.
So because it's not exactly within walking distance of me, I'm not entitled to go there, even though I pay taxes for its upkeep.
What park?
You're entitled to go there.
What park is in your neighborhood?
I don't have a park in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
I don't have a park in my neighborhood either.
Which neighborhood do you live
We
in?
go to Emerson. I don't know. I've always wanted to know what the name of my subdivision is. I don't know. How do you find that out?
Mine's in Moulin Rouge.
It says on your tax bill.
Oh, all right.
Well, I don't either then, but I guess I could walk over to Meadows or ride my bicycle over there.
Right. But I'm just saying that all the Fraser Park should be open to all the Fraser residents without an issue.
Well, they are. There just isn't parking in front of all of them. Look at Boris Park. There's no parking.
Yeah, but there's a walkthrough to the street where you can park. You can park on the street behind it. There is a paved walkthrough.
I'm sure
There,
you could park at one of the churches there, or on the streets across where all the condos are.
I don't believe there's any parking on the streets in the condos. And the nearest church is about
on the other side of the condos, the 2-story ones, Christ Church.
Yeah. Christ Church.
Also open to.
So you'd have to cross a distance larger than the park to get to the park.
Well, I mean, it seems like this conversation can keep going on, and I can get the info, and then we can discuss. I mean, anything can be changed. We're just giving council a heads up that this is kind of what we're looking at. It'd be helpful if they have any preliminary like things that they are, dead set against, so that we don't have to, do work for no purpose. So it's just like dipping your toe in the water. We're dipping our toe back in the water to get a new park.
Right. So are we going to go with the motion that Commissioner Paletti made with Harrington and updates to Boris?
Blanky.
Blanky. Sorry.
Well, we went from cosmetic to parking lot. There's a big jump.
That would be part of the cosmetic, but the walking path would be primary consideration.
Well, and if it's a place where, you said there's not a lot of families and people just go to walk and hang out and sit on the benches. I mean, some more trees, some nice flowers. I mean, stuff that, it's not pricey, but it would, makes a big difference.
It's a gorgeous park.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, the motion made by Commissioner Paletti to go ahead with Harrington as the park we want to update, and cosmetic to Blanky, seconded by Commissioner Lacasse. All in favor?
Aye.
No.
Okay. Opposed by Commissioner Berube.
Well, Christine is also going to look into code enforcement and see what can be done over there.
Yeah, this is just general. We haven't made any decisions. It might turn out that, I don't know, you guys want to put a pavilion up there. I don't know. We're just saying that this is where we are focusing our discussion and getting maybe some preliminary feedback from council so that we can all kind of go in the same stream, So just the beginning. We're not, signing away anything right now.
I think we're at item number 6C, the tree grant award.
Yes. So I submitted the award to Green Macomb, which is a subsection of Macomb County, their economic development department. And we have received the approval to buy 50 trees, and they cover the cost of the tree up to $150 each. So these are not little twigs. They are pretty sizable trees. And we are putting them in Blanky, McKinley, and Stephens. Stephens will get most of them. I think I said 25 or 30 to Stephens, and then 10 each at McKinley and Blanky. This one will be done in the fall. DPW will be installing them. We're not going to have a volunteer, tree planting, not this year, but next year. We will definitely bring that back, but just especially because we're going to be getting bigger trees, and it was a little tough last year. they were pretty big trees, so
the holes were a little small.
Yeah. We got it done though. We did. We planted all 70. Well, DPW planted a bunch of them, but we got it done. But yeah, it's very exciting. This brings us to 214 trees that we have received through Green McCombs.
Wow.
Awesome.
Very exciting.
Commissioner Berby?
I have a question. Why was Meadows and Harrington not considered for the trees?
To be honest, it was because I know that in the future we'll be looking at those two parks, and I didn't want to commit to planting anything and then have to dig it out in a few years if we redid the park.
But Stephens, where are you going to put them at Stephens?
Around Fort Fraser, so that, you know, the goal is to help have as much shading around the playground as possible.
Good thinking.
That is good thinking because there's not a lot of shade over there.
Mm-mm. But no, those other playground, those other parks were not slighted. It's just that I know that we're going to be doing something with them, and I didn't want to plant new trees and have to move them. That's all.
We did Meadows, what, 2 years ago? We had a couple trees there.
2 years.
Item number 7, volunteer group reports. 7A, update on McKinley Barrier Free Park. Is that up to you, Cheryl?
It is. There are no updates this month. We're kind of in a little lull because of the pandemic. There's no current active fundraising other than our global giving, which is, it's still current, it's still going on. Other than that, I'm not sure what ideas are coming up for fundraising, but we do have our next meeting on, oh, hang on one second. Let's see. I believe it's September, yeah, it's September 15th. If I'm not, it could be the 22nd, but I'm almost positive it's the 15th at 6 p.m. It'll be a Zoom again, and there should be a flyer available in the next week or so.
Just
with
the
the information.
snowmen, Cheryl.
What's that?
The snowmen.
Oh yeah, we are talking about getting another, like we did the snowmen last year. We are looking into doing that again and having.
We ordered 10.
Okay, is that what was done? 10 were ordered. Oh, you ordered 10? Oh.
10.
Wow. Okay. So I don't know if it's been announced yet, but we are looking into doing more snowmen around the city where we will have residents and businesses do their own snowman to put out and just kind of spruce up wintertime. So I'm sure we'll have more information at the next meeting on that, because we were just talking about it last month. We were going to try for pumpkins for the fall, but we just didn't have enough time. So that's the update for right now.
Thank you. 7B, updates from Fraser Fresh Farmers Market.
Mouthful.
Yes.
September 12th will be our last market.
I'll be there.
Pardon?
I'll be there.
That's what you said the last time, wasn't it?
Hey, I don't work that night. I don't work, so I.
Okay. There will also be face masks for sale again. Proceeds go to the dog park. Also, we are having a guest visitor with mom and dad, which is from 10 until 12, and that's Bitchin' Vintage will be stopping by. So, and that's about it.
The little trike.
Where did she find that from?
I guess it was by the library, abandoned.
Oh, she just found it?
Yeah, they just found it. It was by the library. And then it ended up on like Rosemary or something. So she just picked it up and she takes it around.
It went to Fago and Better Made today.
Sure did, yeah. I got my picture taken with it the other day. So
That's right, you did. Yeah. So that's about it.
Awesome. All right, number 8, overview report from Parks and Recreation Director, number 8A, not number A, pumpkin patch, sidewalk art in the park.
Yes. Well, before I do that, I don't want to forget, because coming up, we have a birthday. Fort Fraser is turning 23 on September 7th. 23. So I want to bring that up. It's pretty cool. So yes, there's 2 programs in the works. I'll start first with I'll start with sidewalk art in the park because that one's first. So between September 21st and 27th, we're inviting everyone to come to the McKinley Park and take a section of the pathway and put their art out, you know, use chalk and make it colorful, make it unique. And what I'm hoping, and it might be way off base, but I'm hoping we can fill the whole pathway, which is 0.6 miles long. And I've never heard of that long of a sidewalk art thing. So I'm really hoping we get a lot of people out there. I've seen the Facebook posts kind of picked up through Fraser schools, and they're kind of distributing it. So yeah, hopefully it's good weather, knock on wood. And I'm excited to see what everybody brings out.
Awesome.
Any questions on that one before I go to the next one?
I don't think
What
so.
day was that?
Oh,
What was that?
What specific day was that?
September 21st through 27th. So it's a week long.
okay.
And I was asked if I was going to like distribute chalk at the park. And I thought about it, and my fear is that if there's chalk readily available, there might be people who would misuse that. Whereas I feel like if you're bringing chalk to the park, your intent is, you know, to create art and not just, you know, maybe write profanity. I can change that if the commission thinks, you know, otherwise, but that was just my gut feeling on
I think
on
that's a smart idea on your part, because there could be tweens that just do whatever tweens do, you know.
Yeah.
You don't want dirty words written on there or bad pictures.
Right. I mean, maybe somehow we can make it available to people that for some reason don't have access to it, but I don't know how we'd make it available.
Yeah.
Because leaving it out readily, like, it would cause people to, like you said, write profanity all over the place. So, Commissioner Lacasse?
Did you mention, are you going to have spots marked off on the path?
Nope.
Okay.
It's just, you know.
Come as you are and do as you please.
Yep. Respect other people's artwork. We'll put signs out that say respect people's artwork, no profanity, enjoy, or something like that. I mean, it's really simple, I think.
It's a fun idea.
Are we gonna like maybe like promote it online and ask people like to take a picture of their artwork, you know, post it online, or so that it'll like encourage someone else to go and be like, oh, I'll go and put something next to that, something that would go along with, you know, that heart picture or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did put on the flyer to take a selfie with it and share it to the event page, so it's all kind of contained. So we'll see.
Good.
I'm excited. I'll bring my kids out to do that.
Awesome.
The other event is the Fraser Pumpkin Patch, and there's a pumpkin coloring sheet that you can print out, or I actually got an email today, somebody wanted me to mail it to them. So kids and adults will color it, send it back, either take a picture and email it to me, or put it in the Dropbox at City Hall. And then I'm going to cut them out, laminate them, and stick them to wooden stakes, and we're gonna put them all around the pathway. So it's like a pumpkin patch. And if people put their information on the back, I'll enter them into a raffle. I'm not doing a contest. It's gonna be a raffle for one of 3 like Halloween goodie bags, or not 3, 5 Halloween goodie bags. So
That's a really cute idea.
That's a cute idea.
Around what park?
Again, McKinley. I was thinking about Somerset, but I didn't know if the path would be done by then. So McKinley has the newest and nicest pathway.
All right. Anything else? Okay.
I believe, oh, yes. So also we will be doing the newsletter. We're starting it up with the library. it's going to be a shorter book. It was, I think, 20 pages, and now it's going to be 8. And me and the library are doing our parts this month, so it'll be released for October, November.
Okay, cool. 8B, discussion and consideration of Halloween event.
Yes, so this was another idea that I had. I was thinking about how COVID is affecting some families, and if families were going to choose to forego Halloween because of concerns, and if so, what could we do to give them an option to do something, to celebrate a really important holiday for kids. It's right up there with Christmas for a lot of kids. So I put out a survey to see what people thought about it. Like I said, my idea was specifically to give kids an outlet for Halloween on Halloween. I don't think that we need to add another Halloween event. My idea was if we can do something so that kids aren't missing out on the whole Halloween, that would be something I think would be worth it. But again, this is up for the commission to discuss, but I sent you guys a link about the results through SurveyMonkey. I haven't done that, so I don't know if you see what I see, but I can just quickly go through each of the questions and what those responses were.
Sure.
Why did this pop up? I'm sorry, guys. Half my screen is missing. Okay, here we go. I asked, are you looking for an alternative to the traditional Halloween due to COVID concerns? And we had 63% say yes and 36% say no. So that's about 2/3 said yes, they are looking for an alternative to the traditional Halloween. The next question was, would you go to a trunk or treat style event with precautions in place such as social distancing, markers, one-way traffic, mandatory masks for all ages, hand sanitizer available, persons from the cars hand out the candy with gloved hands to minimize touch surfaces.
Okay.
And that was 87% said yes and 12% said no, they wouldn't be interested in that.
Out of how many?
Out of how many?
85, it says.
85.
85?
Okay, so then I asked, would you prefer this event on Halloween as a replacement for the traditional Halloween? Anticipated time would be between 6 and 7:30 p.m. And only 40% of people said yes, they would want it on Halloween. 60% of people said no, they would not want it on Halloween.
We're really lucky that Halloween is on a Saturday this year, though, because then that would be pretty easy to do it Friday if more people didn't want it on actual Halloween. So.
Yeah, the only thought I had was, is Devil's Night still a thing? I don't know if it's still a thing anymore. It's Angels Night.
Angels Night, right.
So maybe that's not even a concern.
Well,
Okay.
and if we give something for kids to do, it'll cut down on tomfoolery.
Yes. I said, would you be interested in signing up? So I got a bunch of people who said they would volunteer. And then I got some comments and suggestions. There were some people that said they're still hoping for a traditional Halloween. Sounds like a good idea. There were some people with concerns about masks, and obviously if anybody was unable to wear a mask, we wouldn't disclude them.
Right.
That was pretty much that.
There was one comment, I'm looking at it now, that says candy is quite expensive, so I'm just wondering if Parks and Rec could supplement some candy or if they would be collecting donations.
I'll take donations. So that's definitely something to think about. And then I asked for volunteers. So yeah, that was the survey in a nutshell. Like I said, my initial goal was to provide something so that kids wouldn't miss out on Halloween. I don't know if that would, I don't know. We've never done anything on Halloween, so I don't know. I'd like to hear what you guys think.
Are you envisioning something where like, I'm sorry, where like people get out of their cars and like do like a traditional trunk or treat, or like a drive-through trunk or treat?
Yeah, so what I was thinking was along Park Lane at Stephens Park, we could close down the road for 2 hours on Halloween, or not on Halloween, depending on how we go. And we would have the cars spaced out because we have quite a bit of space. We would require people to go from, the Fort Fraser side out through the other side. So it's all one way. The volunteers who would be with the decorated cars, they would have to wear a mask. They would have to wear gloves. We'd have hand sanitizer out. And they would put candy in the kids' bags instead of kids reaching their hand into a bowl of candy. And those are just the things that I thought of to make it, more COVID friendly.
Yeah.
And I think that we could probably even get like the police involved, and that could be a cool thing too.
Commissioner Berby?
Is that lit over there at all?
We have the baseball diamond lights, so we could use those, and we have power, so we could probably find a way to actually get power to the cars to power lights.
Well, if you're doing it between 6 and 7, well, yeah, I guess it is kind of dark.
It's getting dark
That's
already.
right. It's October. Yeah, that's right.
It's 8 o'clock right now, and
Yeah. You're right.
Commissioner Lacasse?
Have we heard if they are talking about canceling Halloween? Because I haven't heard anything. I've just heard people talking about it, but I haven't heard anything set in stone yet.
I don't know if there's any person that would cancel Halloween, except for, I guess, the governor. If the governor had a stay-at-home order, or like what are they called? Curfews. If she enforced curfews, then I guess Halloween would be canceled. But I remember the first year that I started as director, I got a call from the city manager because the weather was really bad for Halloween. He said, "Are we canceling Halloween?" I'm like, "How? I don't cancel Halloween." Like, it's funnier to me than I guess to you guys, but yeah, I don't know.
Commissioner Berby, go ahead. Sorry.
right now her order is 100 people, correct? In an open area.
Right.
So if she continues with that, how are your numbers going to be? You know, I mean, even if there's one child, 2 parents usually go.
Right.
You know.
So then maybe we have to have like time frames that people come.
Right. Commissioner Sutherland.
So when I saw that you had sent out the survey as that for a potential option, I was actually envisioning it more of like a drive-through trunk or treat, where you could space it out longer, maybe even have cars or trunks on both sides. The kids actually don't get out of the car.
But they don't show their costumes.
I mean, you could still see I mean, at this point, so I mean, my kids are 6 and 11, and I've told them we're not going trick-or-treating. You know what I mean? So I think that, you know, if for me, like I would feel safer doing something like that than even having them go and walk through from a COVID perspective. Mm-hmm. And they would, sometimes it's not even so much about them showing off their costumes as much as they're excited to wear them. And if the kids are in the car, you can still see them in the car. I mean, and you could comment on the costumes. I mean, it's not normal. It's not what we're used to. Hopefully, God willing, right, next year we'll all be trick-or-treating again, but at least this would give the kids an experience where they could still even get a costume, because I was actually telling my kids, I don't even know if we're going to buy Halloween costumes. Talk about a huge
Yeah.
bummer, right? So at least this way they would still get Halloween costumes, be able to drive through. Like I said, if we double up on each side, I mean, it could be fun, and it would definitely enforce social distancing if it was a drive-through. And then it could be a little bit more open with weather permitting too.
I like that idea too.
Are the Lions doing anything at all? Because I know the city Parks and Recs did it with the Lions at the Lions Club.
Oh, the Halloween party?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not going to be doing a Halloween party. But maybe if we go ahead with this, they might, I can reach out to them to see if they'd want to be part of it.
We might even be able to get volunteers to do even, cool things, almost like a haunted hayride aspect, but, not super scary because there could be little ones. But, maybe we have some people in clown costumes that they walk next to the cars and, be like, put your candy in here and, try to make it more fun so that it's not just like stop at a station, get your candy, keep going. Like maybe we have people that are like walking along with cars or saying like, here comes Princess Jasmine, you know what I mean? To like the next candy people ahead to make it a little bit more interactive and fun and not just like people sticking candy through the car windows.
I like that.
Thanks. I'd be willing to help set it up and volunteer. Like I said, I mean, for me, this would open it up for my kids. I don't know if, there are other people out there with kids who are feeling similar to the way I am, but my kids are not going trick-or-treating. Like they're not, no matter how much they beg. Gave them Reese's peanut butter pumpkins and only promised to eat 25% of them before I let them go trick-or-treating.
Commissioner Paletti, excuse me.
I think that you'd get a good turnout if you did it the week before Halloween. And that way, if Halloween isn't canceled, people can do both.
Okay.
I wish I had more insight on this. I don't have kids, so I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what would work and what people would want to do and what nights it would work well on. And the only positive thing is Halloween's on a Saturday. That never happens. Of course, it happens on 2020. So
isn't that also the day we gain an hour of sleep?
Yeah, I think so.
Because I work that night, so at least I get paid for 13 hours though. So
there you go, silver lining.
But I'm gonna be so tired in the morning.
You think they would split the difference though and give you a half an hour and the other shift a half an hour?
Alas, no.
You know what? Actually, one more thing too. It wouldn't necessarily. It could actually, if you do it the drive-through way, also, you could open it up where it wouldn't maybe necessarily need to be a trunk or treat too, and you would have like tents like the vendors do at the farmers markets, where you could set those up because those are like usually 8 feet or 10 feet. So that way you wouldn't even have to measure out social distancing. Like you get the tents, people bring their tents, they line them up, you drive through. It would kind of solve that problem for you because cars, you'd have to figure out a little bit more spacing. I mean, you could still add cars in there too, but.
People could decorate their tents too.
Right.
Yeah.
If you could do both sides of the road by any way, you might even be able to do lights or I don't know, that might get a little crazy with like tall trucks or something, but but yeah, you would definitely have more options if you did that.
Yeah, I mean, I can see why a drive-through would be a good option during COVID. I guess I don't know enough about how to do it so that we're sure that aren't going to go crazy and run into any volunteers, and how we would get that interaction, because I don't want it to just be something where they drive up, you drop stuff in, and then that's it. Like that doesn't why even do it at that point? Because the whole seed of it was that it was doing something where there wouldn't be anything.
Burning off some of that energy.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like we have to do something. I just don't know what that something is. So I don't know, Dana, if you want to help me try to figure out what we can do for like a drive-through, if that's what, you know, we want to do. It'll make me kind of sad, but I'll go for it, you know, and we can, I don't know, I guess I'm just blanking on ideas for that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely help. I mean, the thing is it's like, I don't even consider myself like one of like the super, you know, cautious COVID people. I'm probably somewhere in the middle. And even I am like, no with the trick or treating. So I don't know. It's, I kind of try to think of all of this, like even the going back to school and virtual, you know, I mean, there's a lot of people who are upset about going back to school virtual, and I get it. But everything I keep trying to tell myself is that it's only temporary. And that if nothing else, my kids would be like, remember that time we had to drive through to get Halloween candy? Like that was crazy. You know, it's one,
Yeah.
it's God willing, right? It's one time. It's not like this has to be the way forever. And
Yeah.
by trying to think of something for us to do so that they can have somewhat of a Halloween experience, even that's going above and beyond.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Like that's a lot.
Is that what we're doing? And it sounds like Friday night. I don't know if I want to do it the week before. I think that's a little bit too far.
I don't do anything except sit at home, so I'm good to help with whatever day you want to do it.
I can help out too, Christina.
Or do you? No, I really want it to be on Halloween, but because then they're not dressing their kids up twice, you know, each night. But I can see how it would be harder to get volunteers for that.
They dress them up for school, you know.
Yeah.
And then for Halloween. So.
I mean, this could be something too, where if you think about like the kids who haven't been able to do like plays and, you know, different like community theater type stuff, if we're looking for volunteers and we put something out there for those groups, I mean, we can have it be really interactive and still enforce social distancing.
Mm-hmm.
We can have these, you know, someone dress up as a ghost and, you know, walk along with the car and not say anything, right? You just literally walk along the car dressed as a ghost.
That adds a lot of
that's
fun.
creepy, and that's different.
What if we did it during the day on Halloween? Like maybe like 1 to 2, or like, I don't think it needs to be long. So like an hour and a half, 2 hours during the day.
You probably get more like little ones having it be earlier. I don't know. I like the dusk idea. What time does it get dark? We could look up what time sunset is and kind of do it during sunset, maybe.
Probably around 6:30, around that time. I think that's usually when it gets darker on Halloween.
Yeah, because I guess it gets dark while you're trick-or-treating, and you usually start at 6. So, yeah. I guess
Detroit sunset for October 31st is 6:26.
Maybe you do it like 5:30 to 7:30
on Friday.
I like Friday, but I can see why you'd want it to be on Halloween too. But I think, I don't know. I personally would like Friday, but.
Do you have any idea if the mall is doing anything like that inside for trick-or-treating? And when it might be?
I haven't heard anything.
Let me Google it.
I was going to say the same thing. Let me look.
Because I know Macomb Mall did it, and did Lakeside do it?
Sometime.
Maybe.
I know so many stores are closing out there.
Yeah.
I only see back to school stuff from Macomb Mall.
I see something, but I think it's for last year.
What date was it? Do you know?
It was on Halloween. I think though, like, I mean, all I can do is use myself as a guide too, right? I can't say what other people are thinking or doing. But when it comes to trick or treating, I'm not taking my kids to the mall either. To me, there's no difference between taking them from house to house than taking them inside the mall. I like the outdoor trunk or treat, open air, not in an enclosed space aspect of it. Like that's for me with my kids, what would let me have, you know, or make me let them do it, I guess.
Okay. So, I mean, we can either decide tonight, or you can leave it up to me, and I'll just kind of mull it over a little bit to pick out a time. Because at this point, I don't know what would be best for a time frame. Yeah, I don't know at this point. Because, like I said, my vision was have it on Halloween in place of Halloween trick or treating.
Yeah. I'm just wondering if people are going to do other stuff for Halloween. I guess that would be my thing is like, are people going to do stuff at their house and like have a little, you know, like a smaller party with like a couple of their kids' friends for Halloween instead of going trick or treating, or do like a bonfire with like a movie outside? That's the only thing I was thinking is if like people already are getting ideas in their head of what they might do in lieu of trick or treating.
Right.
To have it on a different day, but I don't know.
Commissioner Lacasse.
I think that it would be good doing it Halloween from like 5 to 7, and then it still gives families time to do other normal trick-or-treating if they want to search neighborhoods to see if there's any houses with their lights on, and they still have plenty of time to do it since it's on a Saturday. So I think 5 to 7 will be a really ideal time because you can get the younger ones in the daylight, and then the older kids can come out when it starts getting dark for it.
Commissioner Bogdan.
Would the high school let you use their facilities? Would it have parking, a track, and you'd be able to social distance, and that would take care of any problem with numbers? I'm throwing it out there, you know.
Yeah, I'm sure they would let us. Well, maybe not with bathrooms. We definitely. Well, we wouldn't have bathrooms at Stephens either.
The high school. Could we do it at the high school in the parking lot?
That's what I was.
How so?
Oh, is that? I thought you meant one of the smaller schools. I'm sorry.
The high school, you can have people in the parking lot and then direct each car, the people in each car, to enter the track area in one place and exit the track area in another place. I'm sure there's more than one gate, and that way you can maintain social distancing and keep everybody safe, and have instead of trunk or treat, have people set up around the track area. So now you have kids walking on a safe surface, socially distanced. It's just a thought. I don't know if they'd let you use the facility.
Yeah.
It's a possibility.
So you're talking about still like the kids walking through, not a drive-through.
Correct.
Okay.
See, and I think that's the thing is that there are people who that'd be fine for, and then there's people who are more cautious. And I think if we go the more cautious route, we might get everybody instead of, you know, having people not feel like it's safe. Like, I mean, I still don't bring my kids out to busy places. I mean, I don't care if people are staying 6 feet away from me. I
do understand. I really do.
That's why I thought you meant the parking lot at the high school to do like the drive-through.
Well, that's another possibility.
Yeah, I was gonna say like at the high school hall, you know, we can have everyone when we do the parade. They park like, you know, line up like around. They could come in one way, go all the way around.
Let me talk to the high school and the middle school, because the middle school might be good.
That's true too.
Because you have the circle drive. I can see if we can do that, because that would be amazing. You know,
now I'm getting pumped up.
But we got to find ways to get it interactive, because I don't want it to just be like a drive-through, pick up your candy and go. You know, it has to have some of that Halloween stuff, you know?
Right.
I think we could do it.
Okay, so I like having it on Halloween. We'll have it from 5 to, and stop me if, you know, if there's anything different that you guys think. 5 to 6:30, drive through.
An hour and a half or 2 hours?
Oh, we can do 5 to 7. Yep. Drive through. I'll check with the middle school. If not, then we can do it along Park Lane, like I said. And we'll start trying to get volunteers and find ways to get it interactive.
Oh, I'm excited.
Commissioner Berube.
Can you put out another survey? What kind? Monkey?
Survey Monkey.
Survey monkey?
Put out a monkey.
Yeah. And ask them if they would consider doing a drive-through on Halloween. Because you might find your answer there that no, they don't want to do it on Halloween, or yeah, I do want to do it on Halloween with your having a drive-through.
I could. The only problem is that whatever we do, we need to get started now, because Halloween is at the end of next month. Yeah, because we're in September. So, I mean, would I get the submissions back and we would wait till the next meeting? Because we can't make any decisions through email. It has to be in a meeting.
Okay.
But I think I would, I mean, as a parent, I would do this. I mean, even if I felt comfortable going out trick-or-treating, it's kind of before the main trick-or-treating starts. So we might get people who would otherwise already go trick-or-treating, and people who are saying, okay, I want to do something with my kids because it's Halloween, but I don't want them to trick-or-treat. Let's do this.
The Sutherland kids who would be staying home watching Hocus Pocus if it weren't for something like this.
Yeah.
Kelly's.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Sarah, what were you planning on doing?
Technically, I work at 7:00 that night, so
Got it.
I'll be getting takeout for the boys and putting on Hocus Pocus. So
we'll watch Hocus Pocus when we get home. I mean, we're gonna watch Hocus Pocus, but.
Okay, so Dana, me and you will talk, and we'll get some ideas, and if anybody else has ideas, and we'll get started on this.
I heard Commissioner Paletti say she wanted to help too.
I'll help out the day of. I don't have kids. I don't know. I don't have ideas. But I'm more of a hands-on kind of helper.
Cool. I love it. I'm excited.
Awesome.
It'll be fun.
Item number 9, other business.
No other business.
Okay. All right, moving on. Citizen participation, but I see no citizens. So
No citizens.
we can move on from that. Item number 11, commission members with concerns. Commissioner Berube, any concerns?
None right now.
Okay. Commissioner Paletti.
Oh, I don't have any concerns. I just miss everybody. But
Commissioner Bogdan.
No concerns at this time, thank you.
Commissioner Lacasse.
Happy September. Happy Halloween season.
All right.
That's all.
Commissioner Sutherland.
I have no concerns. And I thought this was a really good meeting, and I'm really excited just to, that everyone's still so passionate about getting the parks fixed and, trying to think of other things for Halloween and even starting to think about the holidays, because for me, it's never too soon to think about Christmas. So really excited. And this was awesome.
Awesome. And I don't really have any concerns. I mean, good luck to all the kids that are going back to school virtually. That's it. And like Dana said, the holidays, I'm kind of excited for it. I only have 2 more holidays moods left, Jack Skellington and Santa Claus. So,
No turkey?
I mean, kind of meshed into one. So, but that's it. All right. Item number 12.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Excellent.
I'll second the motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Lacasse, seconded by Commissioner Bogdan. All in favor?
Aye.
Excellent.
8:31.
Bye,
8:31.
everybody.
Okay, bye.
Bye,
Have a
guys.
good night.
Bye. See ya.
Okay.